9 a.m. time for the last webinar. I think I'm going to wait one more minute just in case there's anybody struggling. Okay. Go here and we will share my screen. Okay, so hopefully you guys can all see my screen. You guys are on mute, so if you have any questions, just feel free to type it in and I will see them come up. So, put that here. Make this big for you guys. So, alright, I think we'll start now. So this is the screen that you guys will see. Just come down to this little blue button. If you don't see it, that's fine. I think mostly just supervisors and managers will see it, but go to that screen. This is what everybody should see. I've gotten a few people who say they can't get to this screen, and it's because they don't have this time and attendance tab or dashboard. So if you don't have it or don't see it, just send me a Skype or an email or whatever and just let me know so that we can get that added for you. Alright, so pretty self-explanatory. What we're going to do entering our time cards, we're going to go to actions. So mine have already been pre-filled because I've been filling them out every day, but you can just, we'll enter today. So you'll go to add new timesheet entry and make sure that the dates are correct. Every time you enter a timesheet entry, it usually goes for the next day, so tomorrow. That's why it says 20 here. Make sure it's for the correct date. So I change it to 19th. You're going to choose work unless it's holiday, jury duty, etc. You have the other options here. I do want to make a note that there is no overtime option. What you're going to do is just click work, and then in this side, if you're doing overtime, just enter the total amount of hours that you worked today. So say today's Friday, I got in at 8 o'clock, but I have to leave at 6 o'clock. So that would put me at 2 hours of overtime, so I would enter 10 here. And then on payroll side of it, they would see that, okay, there's 2 extra hours of overtime, and they will pay you accordingly. So I'm going to put 8 though because I'm not working overtime. As far as the overtime goes, if you are working more than 8 hours a day or 40 hours a week, that is considered overtime. There are specific laws for specific states. Payroll knows all of those, so as long as you're entering the time as the full amount of hours, you guys should be okay. State, I know it says, so I know it says state here, and that for me it says HR. For some of you it'll say consultants or sales or finance or whatever. Keep it at that default. If you change it, like I have the option to do California, but if you change that to the state that you're in, it's going to mess with our internal mapping, meaning that we're going to have issues come when it's time to pay you. So I know you guys don't want that. You want to be paid on time and accordingly, smooth sailing, so keep it at that default. We are working on either getting the name changed or the state taken out so that it doesn't confuse you guys. The job costing is basically the client, so I would be Qualitest intern. Oops, JK. I don't know why that's unassigned. So Qualitest internal, you would choose that. All right, so don't know why that's messing up on that one. So Qualitest internal, if you guys are SiriusXM or Omnitrax or whatever, this is the client that you'll have here. If within that client you're working on a separate project and you know it, this is where the labor distribution is that project. So I know a lot of the SiriusXM guys are having issues with this part of it. Just write in the notes that you're doing SiriusXM and then write what would normally show up in Ability. I think some people have like ESB or shoot, I can't remember. But anyways, just write down the specific project that you're on in the notes so that when payroll sees it, they can bill according to the correct project. So then you'll submit and close. All right, so punches are saved successfully. So once you see that, you're all set. You're done. Your manager or supervisor is going to get a little reminder that says, hey, so-and-so's time card is ready for approval, and then it's on their end, so you're pretty much all set. So we'll come down here to time card, and you'll see that these are the days that you just put in, or the hours that you just put in, so you don't have to do anything here. This is just, I guess, a summary for you guys to see it. We don't have any previous time cards because this is the first week that we're using it, but going forward you will be able to come back and see past ones. We'll close that out. Vacation time. So the balance that you see here is what you have as of today. So we'll click on that. I'll delete that one. So this is granted. This is what I have today. The balance here, I know for some of you it'll be different. That is just the balance is what you've accrued total while working at Qualitest, and the granted is what you have right now. The sick days, I have 40, but you'll see which ones have been used and which ones have been granted. It's all by accrual, so you'll see 40 here, but it'll take you to the end of the year in order to see that. I know a couple of you guys have asked about the reset date. That shouldn't make a difference to you. There's no use it or lose it policy, although we do, once you hit around 17 days, want you to take time off just because we don't want you to be overworked or lose sight of that work-life balance. So what we're going to do is come up here to the time off, request time off. So you'll pick vacation. That's the current balance. If you know that you're going on vacation at a later date, so I'll pick September 9th. This balance right here will show what you have as of September 9th. So we'll go in, request it. You can make a note of saying, like, I'm going out of town, I'm going to visit my grandma, etc. And then you'll submit it. And then from there you'll see this one's been requested. Once your manager approves or denies it, you'll see that the requested right here will be changed to what your manager's decided. I don't think they should ever deny it, but you never know. So yeah, make sure you check back and make sure that they've taken a look at it. So you can also go to View Calendar. Oh, there it is, see? View Calendar, and I wanted September 9th, so you'll see my name pop up here. And so you'll be able to see when other people are taking time off and decide whether that's actually a good day, if too many people are gone or whatnot. Okay, the reports tab I think is only for supervisors and managers, so it'll be grayed out for you guys like this one. As for the messages, it works just like any other mail delivery service. So you guys will go in. This is for sick days, for vacation days in case they don't get the request, and to ask for any overtime because you guys do need supervisor approval in order to do overtime. So we'll go to create message. I know that there are a few listed names here. We are working on getting that fixed, although you shouldn't have to message anybody except for managers in this feature because you have the Qualitest email. So unless it's not in regards to overtime, vacation, or sick time, use Qualitest. If it is, then use this message feature. So you'll pick who you want to send it to, the subject, the content, and just press send, and they'll receive it. Pretty much that's about it. I'm going to look at questions if you guys have any. So for working outside clients, I'm assuming you mean client sites, or if you're corp to corp. I don't know exactly what you mean, so if you can clarify that question, that would be great. Okay. So for missing time and attendance or any other problems that you guys have, just send me an email. If you don't have my email, I'll just let you know right now. So it's CLEF as in Frank, UEL at qualitestgroup.com. If not, you guys can use my Skype, so CLEFUEL4. And I will be able to add that for you so that you guys should have no problems by the end of the day. Bear with me, some of these problems will take a little bit longer to fix if it's vacation time or sick time or things like that, but if it's just adding a dashboard, it should be pretty simple. Okay. Okay. So yeah, let me repeat that. If you guys don't have my contact info, CLEFUEL at qualitestgroup.com or CLEFUEL4 for Skype. And then just shoot me a message and I'll be able to fix that. If you guys have questions that I can't answer right now, we'll work on that for you. There was one more thing I wanted to mention on the vacation time that a couple people have brought up. If you don't have enough time when you are requesting it, like going negative, it will not allow you to submit that request. I'm working with our rep now to make sure that we can get that fixed or come up with an alternative. We do want you guys to be able to take time off, and it shouldn't matter whether you have the days for it or not. Okay. For the client ID and login password page, I think one of you guys are having a problem. Just message me offline since that doesn't apply to other people. See, I'm going through all of the questions just to see if they have all been answered or not. Okay. So yes, I did want to mention that while we're hoping for PayChex to run smoothly this week and the next, as kind of a fail-safe, we want you guys to also input your time for ability. The start and end times don't really matter as long as the hours are the same. So if you're putting 8 hours in PayChex, make sure you put 8 hours in ability, just so that if something does happen, we have the accurate amount of hours. Okay. All right, so if you guys have vacation days that have already been approved via email or something verbal, yes, please do enter it in PayChex so that it's all in one spot and your manager can see who's taking days when. They might not realize, like, oh, so-and-so asked for the 16th, I asked for the 16th, and somebody else also asked for it. So we want to make sure that all of it is just in one spot. It's easy for them to see, and you shouldn't have any trouble getting it approved again if they've already approved you. So yes, please do enter that in PayChex one more time. So you guys are asking if there's a shortcut for entering all of the days of the week in one shot instead of entering it one day at a time. So far I haven't found one. If you guys do, let me know so that I can let everybody else know. But for the moment, you guys should be entering them every day anyways. Okay. So yeah, if you guys find something, let me know. So yes, starting this week, again, please use PayChex as well as Ability. We want to make sure that all of the hours are matching up. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so I think that's it. I'm going over the questions still and sending messages privately if it's offline. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to send me, like I said, emails or Skype. Okay, so one more question was, what is the difference between the granted and the balance on this one? So, oh, perfect, we're on this right page. So the balance is what you have left. The granted, so say, let me see. Okay, so we'll start with granted. Granted is what you have used, sorry, not used. This is what you have at the moment. Like granted, this is what you have in the bank. If I wanted to take it today, this is what I have. The balance is what you have earned at Qualitest while you've worked here. So the balance and the granted may be different just because you might have earned, say your balance is 20. I used an hour and a half the other day, and then my granted right here would be what I have left is the 1848. I hope that makes sense. All right, I'm having issues trying to see all of the other questions. So if you do have something, just email me. I think that's it. So yeah, have a good rest of the day. Make sure you enter on both Ability and on PayChex, and that should be it. All right, see you later.